There are several schools of thought on paddle position, but I think they're only focused on one small piece of the pie. If you're over 50, there's a lot more to it than just the paddle. Hey everybody, it's CJ Johnson. This channel is dedicated to showing players over 50 how to play their best pickleball. If you don't want to miss out, make sure you hit the subscribe and then the bell notification so you know whenever I post a new video. Just like the other sports that I coach, both golf and skiing, it's pretty common to hear conflicting advice about the same thing. It's true of pickleball as well. Just step on the courts or watch a YouTube video and you'll often see that you'll hear one thing from one person and something completely different from someone else. That's true of paddle position. You'll hear one coach say, keep it up. You'll hear another one say, it doesn't really matter where it is. What's the truth? Does it matter? If you're over 50, it matters. Last week, after posting the dink footwork video, I had a conversation with one of Better Pickleball's frequent contributors. It focused on efficient movement patterns. Specifically, how does an over 50 body move differently than someone who's perhaps a little bit younger? Thank you so much, Dale, for having that conversation with me. It reminded me that when we talk about paddle position, that's only a small piece of the equation. There's a lot more to it. You might be asking why that's important. Are your reactions faster or slower than they were 10 years ago? Put your answer down in the comments below. If you're not sure, go play a game of pickleball with someone who's of equal skill, but 10 years younger than you are. Most of us will come back and say our reactions are slower. It might be hard for some of us to say that our reactions are different. I get it, it's hard for me to say. But if we learn how to move our bodies more efficiently, we can actually speed up. For this video, that means that we need to look at the entire ready position, not just where the paddle is. Now, before we talk about the entire body, let's get this paddle thing out of the way. Here's what Laura Fentonkovanda, four-time US Open champion, had to say about proper paddle position.
People will say, oh my gosh, this guy has such quick hands, or this lady has such quick hands. And sometimes they do, but a lot of times they have quick hands because their paddle is in the correct position at all times. And I don't think most players realize that a paddle should be in a position to always attack or block versus a lot of paddles drop down by their legs.
That means that if the paddle needs to be in a position that you can block or attack, your arm needs to be out in front of your body. One other question that I'm often asked is, what direction should the paddle be facing? Now, there's a lot of specifics to this, but here's just a generalization, because this isn't a video just about paddle position. If you're a right-hander and 12 is right out in front of you, we're going to tilt the paddle just a little bit towards 11 o'clock. If you're a lefty, we're going to tilt that paddle just towards 1 o'clock. What that allows us to do is move from the backhand to the forehand side. Now that you know where your arm should be and consequently your paddle, let's talk about the important part here. That's the lower body. Stand up. Yeah, I mean, come on, stand up right now. You know as well as I do that there are a lot of times you listen to these videos and that you intend to put it into your pickleball game, but you don't always get around to it. So now is as good a time as any. Humor me, stand up. Okay, so now that you're standing, we're gonna focus on your pickleball ready position. Now I want you to stand with your feet a little wider than shoulder width, a slight flex in your knees, and a slight flex in your hip. I want you to think just a second about where your weight is in relationship to your toes or back towards your heels. Ideally, I'd like you to feel it in the balls of your feet. One of the first mistakes that I see is I see people stand with their feet too close together and they stand tall. And I get it, our balance has changed now that we're over 50. But in this position, it's very difficult to block at the net because most of the balls, when they come over the net, come very close to the net. So we're a little higher. You've got to get down to get to the net. And when my feet are too close together, that's a pretty uncomfortable position to be in. If you're not volleying, you're going to be hitting a dink shot. Again, is it going to be easier for you to drop down to get a dink if your feet are close together, or if your feet are a little wider than shoulder width apart? Okay, so now that we have our feet wider than shoulder width, knees flexed, hip flexed, let's go back to the feet. I want you to feel your weight in the balls of your feet. Let's put your hand up in the paddle position, so just get your arm out in front of you. And with the weight in the balls of your feet, what I want you to do is just take a couple steps and move laterally. And then take a couple steps, move laterally the other direction. It's pretty easy, right? Okay, now here comes the secret sauce and how your arm and paddle position will impact your body. Get back into your ready position, get your arm out in front of you, and I want you to feel the weight on the balls of your feet. All I want you to do now, without changing anything, is simply drop your arm. Did you feel your weight move from the balls of your feet? You probably felt it move either toward the arch or towards the heel. Now what I want you to do is that same thing we just did, move laterally. It's harder when the weight is in our arch or in our heel. By simply taking the paddle from this position and dropping it down to our hip, we've shifted our weight and decreased our ability to move efficiently. What I see time and time again is players stand too tall and flat-footed. Even if they don't stand that way, if they start with a good ready position, as a volley or a dink rally continues, we have a tendency to drop our paddles lower and lower and lower. And every time I drop that paddle towards my hip, I move my weight back. It becomes easy to catch me off guard with a fast shot and push me backwards. Pickleball is about movement, and efficient movement is fast movement. If you're over 50 and you're not working on your balance, it's getting worse. The good news is you can do something about it in just minutes a day. Now, if you got value from this video, give it a little love by giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your pickleball playing friends, because together we can train smart, live bold, and age well.